was waiting on me. There was a purpose for that valley 13 years earlier. I didn't see it at the time. I let it stress me out, steal my joy. I realize now it was a valley of blessing. I've learned nothing happens by accident. It's no use getting upset, losing your peace. Stand still and you will see the victory. One day you'll look back and you'll see what God was up to. You'll say, God, thank you for that valley. If I hadn't learned what I needed to learn, I wouldn't have been prepared. Or like Coach Dungy, God, if you hadn't have closed that door, I wouldn't have won the Super Bowl. God knows what He's doing. Every valley has a blessing. There's something in it pushing you forward. Something that will be instrumental in you reaching a new level of your destiny. I don't complain about my valleys anymore. I realize this valley wouldn't be here unless it was getting me prepared for something greater. Unless I was going to gain something that I need later on. I like this saying, trouble is inevitable, but misery is optional. We're all going to go through valleys. All have things that we don't understand. But it's up to us. Trouble's inevitable. You know what I mean? But it's up to us as to whether or not we let that trouble stress us out and sour our life. It's like this guy I heard about. He's out walking through the neighborhood and he got bit by a dog. He was so upset. Went to the doctor. They ran some tests. The doctor said, "Sir, I'm sorry, but the dog has rabies. We're going to have to give you some shots." Now he was really upset. The doctor went out and get his equipment. Came back in a few minutes later. He noticed the man was making a list. He thought he was making out of it his will. The doctor kind of laughed and said, "Sir, it's not that bad. You're not going to die." The man said, "This is not my will. This is all the people that I'm going to bite." I'll tell it better on TV, but anyway. Here's what I'm saying. When you go through a valley, don't go around biting people. You know, when things happen that you don't understand, don't let it sour your life. Remind yourself, this is not going to work against me, it's going to work for me. One day you're going to look back like me and say, what I thought was a valley of defeat, I realize now it was a valley of blessing. 1 Kings chapter 20, the Israelites had just defeated the army of Ben-Hadad on the top of this mountain. One of Ben-Hadad's assistants said to him, "The Israelites' God is the God of the hills. That's why they were too strong for us. But if we fight them in the valley, we will certainly defeat them." One version says, in the low places. The next spring, Ben-Hadad attacked the Israelites, but this time in the valley. God said to the Israelites, "They think I'm just the God of the mountains and not the valleys. I will help you defeat them so they will know I'm the God of both." When we're on the mountaintop, things are going good, seeing God's favor, we know God is with us. But sometimes when we're in the valley, we think, "God, where are you? Why did this happen to me? Am I ever going to get well?" God is saying, be encouraged. He's not just the God of the mountains, He's the God of the valleys. David said, God is a very present help in times of trouble. When you're in the valley, God is not far away. He's right there with you. He's a very present help. Psalm 84 says, when you go through the valley of weeping, it will become a place of refreshing where pools of blessing collect after the rain. On the way to your destiny, there will be some valleys. You may shed some tears, have some things that you don't understand, but God doesn't waste anything. This scripture says God collects every tear that you've shed. He'll use those same tears to refresh you. They'll become pools of blessing. In the valley, you can't always see clearly. If you just stay focused on what didn't work out, the disappointment, the heartache, you'll get discouraged. Think that there's nothing better. But what you can't see is right over that next hill is something amazing, a new level. When you're in that low place, I was talking about it earlier, you got to look out through your eyes of faith and see yourself rising higher, getting healthy, overcoming the obstacle. accomplishing your dreams.